If you think you can't paint, try this. First, we're going to go in with a detail brush and some plain red, and I'm just going to lightly sketch in 2 circle shapes. Then I'm going to add a bit more red paint so we can add a bit more shape to our cherries. Next, I'm going to go in with some plain red and fill in those cherries. Next, I'm taking pink and white mixture and filling in the background, making sure to cut in all the little details. Next, we're going to go in with some plain green and draw our stems in a triangle shape. Next, I'm going to sketch in a leaf and fill that in with green, adding a little bit more volume to our stems. Now that we have our basic shapes, this next part is probably the most tedious part. So I'm just drawing little squares in different colors all over the cherries. Some of them are going to be dark, some of them are going to be light. The colors I used were pink, and I did a little bit of red mixed with some green to make a burgundy, and I did some purple and some light pink and white. And I'm just going around and filling in each square. They're not perfect squares, they're just more like blobs. And you kind of want to follow the natural way light would hit the cherries. So we have the lightest part, which would be the top, and some near the bottom, and then there's a darker side. So I'm using more darker red and burgundies for the dark shadowy sides. So once you're done filling in those squares, it should almost look like a checkerboard. Next, I'm just going around and adding a bit more shape to the cherries and adding the squares where it's needed. Then I'm going to go over with some green and white mixture to add a bit of highlight to my leaf, and then reestablishing that middle line and adding a bit of white over top just for some little shiny highlights. Now I'm just going in, and if there's any little spots that need to be filled in, I'm just going in and reestablishing any white just to brighten up the bright spots and filling in any red spots that I may have missed. And some shadows near the bottom. I also added some purple and some darker shades of red, and I'm just going around and cleaning up the edges. Next, I'm going to take some red and white and just add some shadowy kind of shapes underneath the cherries just to give them a little bit more depth. Next, I'm going to take some plain white and just feather that in, and then clean up the background a bit just to add some brightness. And there you have it. Don't forget, this doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a fun disco cherry painting exercise, and everyone's just going to look a little bit different in the end. This is the final look, and I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks so much for watching.